Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dreamleapers Inspiration. I'm your host, Harriet Cole. As always, honored, truly honored to be with you today. And I want to thank all of you who are taking the time to connect with me live, as well as all of you who connect later whenever it's convenient for you because of the wonders of technology that we can be connected on demand. This is our time to pause. This is our time to connect to the greatness within, to the greatness that connects us to the universe. This is our time. And we have been doing this together, many of us, for 5 years. I started this broadcast in April of 2020, days after the pandemic struck and we were informed that we had to go home and lock our doors and to protect ourselves in order to live. And what's so interesting about that is, yes, when there's something lethal in the air, we have to take precautions. But in order to live, we need each other. And I remember feeling this sense of contraction, like, oh my goodness. I had my family with me in our home. We live in Harlem, which I love, but it was never, ever easy to walk outside of your door and be 6 feet apart from people because there are a lot of people in New York City and in my neighborhood in the village of Harlem. So we were really sequestered and we took all of the precautions seriously. I have a number of health compromises, and so we were like, nope, and upper respiratory being one of them. We are not going to be around folk because we want to, preserve ourselves. But the longing to be with people was so strong that this emerged. I'd already started Dreamleapers, and just the notion of being inspired together to connect with people heart to heart, even if it is across the broadcast, was so strong. And we were every day for a few months, every weekday. And then that was hard to sustain. So it created over time a rhythm of once a week. Some of you have been with me since day one, and I appreciate you so much. Others have come at different points along the way. We started very local meaning local people who are my friends and colleagues, and it has expanded to a global community of people at different points along the way who let us know that they are connected. As I have been in what I call my happy place all summer, all the time I run into people who tell me that they connect to either this broadcast or the Conversations broadcast called Dreamleapers that happens on Saturdays. So we're connected. We're connected. I'm grateful for the connection. I think that having a connection like this reminds us of the goodness that exists within us as well as in others. And that's my intention for it anyway. For this to be, a gathering space to just fill ourselves up with love and connection and goodness. So I hope that that's what you feel when you join in, because that surely is my intention. So I'm calling today's broadcast Be Happy. Intentionally, I told you I'm in my happy place. It's the end of summer, and so we won't be here full-time much longer, but full-time always in my heart. Hi, Nikki. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all of you who are here. And if you'd like to write in and say where you are, I'm in my happy place in Sag Harbor, New York. Where are you? I'd love to know where we all are connected. And thank you to all of you who got up this morning, because this is a holiday. And a lot of folks were partying last night, so it might not have been the easiest thing for you to get up. I thank you. Be happy. Be happy. This is a state of being that you can have no matter what is going on in your life. It is a choice. And sometimes it's a hard choice to make because things are happening. Life has lots of things happening in it, lots of ups and downs. It's not one way. Life has everything. And so how can you choose to be happy depending upon what's going on in your life. And do you make that choice? If you ask yourself honestly, do you make the choice to be happy, especially in tough moments? And how often do you allow yourself to kind of wallow in it? If you're honest, most people give in and allow negativity to kind of wash over their shoulders and make them feel heavy. And that's just part of life. It's not a judgment, by the way. It happens to me. I'm a Pisces, and it happens to me with some frequency, although because of meditation, I've learned how to uh, ground myself so that the tidal waves of fish moving around is not so intense. That took years too. I see Brenda's in Colorado. Thanks for telling us, Brenda. And anybody want to say where you are, let us know where you are so we know what our covenant is. So be happy. It's something that my mother, Doris Cole, used to talk about all the time. She was joyful. She found joy in everything. You know, her great granddaughter, Harper Grace's smile. I remember the last time I saw my mother with Harper Grace, my mom was very fragile. You know, she just passed away a few months ago. She was very fragile. She was in it wasn't the hospital. She was in the place where she lived in assisted living. But Harper Grace, I was there, and Harper Grace came floating in with the biggest smile on her face. And it took everything, but my mother rallied and brought a smile to her. She found that smile up until the last breaths. She decided that she was going to be happy. And she told me a couple years ago that what she was doing is making the most of what she had left. Now, when she told me that, she was probably 93 and she lived to 95. And there were things she couldn't do, but there were things she could do. And thank God her mind was really good. And so she just sought out joy and chose to see the good in people, in the moment, in her surroundings. And this was a conscious choice that, I mean, just for you to think about for your own life. If stuff is not going well, how do you react? If you can't move the way you used to be able to move, how do you react? If your body doesn't do what you're telling it to do, how do you react? If you lose your job, if you lose a relationship, if you have a fight with someone you love, if your resources are depleted, the list is long. The things that happen in life, when they happen, how do you deal with them? How do you react to them? And this is not to say that you should ignore whatever is going on, ignore your feelings, pretend like whatever it is didn't happen. That isn't what I'm saying at all. But to access joy, to find a sense of peace in your existence, no matter what is going on, when you can do that, it really does feel like you're being hugged with blessings. It makes it just a little bit easier. So I was at an event. There's been a whole series of beautiful family events and community events to culminate the summer. And I was at an event a couple days ago, and there were hundreds, maybe 700 people at this event that started out much smaller, but it grew, community event. And so we're walking around, seeing people, greeting people. And there's a friend and neighbor in Harlem whom I saw. He and his wife, we often sort of are in the same circles. Chip is his name. And he saw me and he said, "Harriet, every time I see you, you are so happy." And I said, "Well, what's not to be happy about? We're in this beautiful space with each other. It's great." He says, "Yeah, but you always seem happy." He says, "I don't know, there's a different kind of happy that I feel from you." And he says, "I think it's a good thing. I think it makes people gravitate toward you because you're happy." And so I thanked him deeply for that because A, I'm grateful that the joy that I'm feeling is, it's not just for me. It's here to share. Like, all right, we can share joy. It's enough of it. You don't have to hold on to it. You don't have to be stingy with your joy. You can share your joy. Uh, I'm happy that he acknowledged that there seemed to be a special kind of joy that I was experiencing that day. Absolutely. I am in my happy place. But I looked up, trying to find a quote to share with you. First, I looked up happy place quotes because, people they have wherever their happy place is. This is mine. Many people have other places that they call their happy place. But as I looked it up, the best part about searching for what other people have to say about happy place is that again and again and again, I saw your happy place is inside. Your happy place starts from the inside and then manifests on the outside. And look, I've been meditating for more than 30 years. Yes, I agree. LaShawn, oh my dear Sora, says, needed this morning. The movers are coming to pack me up to relocate to Georgia. I'm struggling with ending this chapter and turning the page, but I know this move means joy for me in the long term. Blessings to you, LaShawn. Change is hard. Moving is one of the things at the top of the list of stressors. And I have friends like you who are moving from here, from happy place land, to another country. Good friends of ours, Renee and Nicholas, selling their house out here and moving to Mexico City. And it's exciting and it's nerve-wracking and it's all the things. Change. But change is imminent, change is always, and change is good. And then anointing yourself with love and blessings as you make a change. I hope it's fortifying, because even as you move, remember, people are telling me here and there where they are, but I know we have folks in London, we have folks in the Caribbean who join us sometimes. People are joined from wherever they are, but we touch each other all over. And even more, we touch each other from the heart. So blessings to you, LaShawn, for your journey. And I know it's going to be beautiful. There are a lot of wonderful people in Atlanta. I think you're going to feel that big old hug when you get there. Fallon, would you share the quote? Let's take a look at the quote that I did choose. There were many good ones, but I found one that I thought might be good for today. It says, let your intentions be good, embodied in good thoughts, cheerful words, and unselfish deeds. And the world will be to you a bright and happy place in which to work and play and serve. And that's from Grenville Kleiser. Now, there was a whole lot in that. Let me break it down for you. Let your intentions be good. Let me read the whole thing and then we'll break it down. Let your intentions be good, embodied in good thoughts, cheerful words, and unselfish deeds. And the world will be to you a bright and happy place in which to work and play and serve. There's so much in that quote. That's why I wanted us to take a look at it. Starting with let your intentions be good. When I'm coaching clients on public speaking, on presentation, on confidence building, those are a lot of the things that I do in my business. One of the things that we talk about all the time is setting an intention. What is your intention for whatever you're approaching? What is your intention for today? Like to sit just for a moment, and we'll do this. We'll do a little meditation today, but you can already get yourself in the posture if you like, because I feel like it's happening. Put your feet flat on the floor. Sit up straight with your shoulders relaxed. Hands, thumbs and forefingers touching with your hands on your knees. And I want you, if you want to, you can close your eyes. If you want to. You don't have to. You can just be still and breathe. But if you want to close your eyes as I read this to you, just take it in. Let your intentions be good. When you wake up in the morning, set an intention for the day and make it positive. Intend something that's good for you and others. Sometimes mine is just that I'm going to share love today. Sometimes it's I'm going to be still today because I'm busy moving all the time. Sometimes it's, especially if it's a hard day, a lot of tough things to go through, I'm going to be kind and clear today. Because sometimes you have to deal with tough things, but you can still be kind. Let your intentions be good, embodied in good thoughts. So think of that, embodying your intentions in good thoughts. So it's not, something bad is going on, you feel tense about it. My intention is to be good no matter what throughout this. But if you're scrunching up your face and you're not breathing and you're feeling fearful and all that worry is there, you're not embodying your intention in good thoughts. Then you're embodying it in armor. Don't do that. Do your best to surround your intentions with good thoughts. So it could be, when I see people, I'm going to greet them with kindness. When I see people who cause me a lot of consternation and angst and negative feelings, I'm going to look past that and look for the goodness in them. One thing that we've been taught in our meditation practice, which is something I live by, see God in each other. What happens when you do that? Embody your intentions and good thoughts. See God in each other. Imagine if you approach people like that, especially the ones who are causing you problems. You pause, you take a breath, and you see God in them. You see greatness in them. It can melt away the negativity. Let your intentions be good, embodied in cheerful words. Cheerful words, words that make you smile, words that uplift you. Now, this can be difficult when you're frustrated, when you're angry, when you're tired, when you just had enough. What my mother says in times like that, go off and be with yourself. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. Be still when you cannot find cheerful words. Be still when you need to rest yourself and find your way to a solid, soft landing. Be quiet until you can realign yourself with that greatness inside that makes you strong. And seek out the cheerful words. And so then we also, Grenville Kleiser says, let your intentions be embodied in unselfish deeds. Okay, think about that. In unselfish deeds. How often are you doing something for you? Checking off a box for you. I want this. I deserve this. I should have this. Now, I'm going to back up and say, yes, we do that, but I am surrounded by people who are giving so much to others. You could also be on the other side of this. I think of my producer, Fallon, who is the most giving person, and she talks about how sometimes people can take advantage of you if they know you're a giver. So I am not saying unselfish deeds to the extent that your cup is empty. You have to fill your cup too. But take care of others. Don't do things just for you. Do things for humanity. Do things for your neighbor. Do things for the person just who needs help. Have your eyes open. Yesterday there was this huge, huge party on the beach, and it was the most beautiful experience. And I have to say, there was a sea of beautiful Black families because Jack and Jill, an organization I've been a part of for many years, brought families to the beach. And there were other folks, because it's the end of the season, other folks there with their families and other groups. And it's Labor Day weekend, so lots of folks are here. And the community I'm in is a Black community. historically African American community. And I have to tell you something, it was a beautiful thing to see so many Black families, as well as a few others, having a great time and being, being. And, there are some forces that want to wipe us out, that want to say that people of color are not valuable, are not real, that how we live isn't true. And so seeing this beauty was just so incredibly heartwarming. The beauty of 4 and sometimes 5 generations of families coming together as a community to just get kissed by the sun and hug each other and play in the sand. It was magnificent. And everybody was helping each other. So at one point, I'm walking along the beach, and I see an elder woman, and I say that in the highest regard, walking along. She's walking on the sand, and at one moment, some kids were making sandcastles, and one had walked away from a giant hole in the sand. And by the way, you should never do that. And this beautiful woman almost fell because she did not see the hole. I saw the hole. I reached over to her and caught her arm just before she fell, and then we continued moving. So, note to anybody building sand castles and things, make sure you even out those holes. It's very important. But also just have your eyes open. I'm so grateful I had my eyes open to be able to be there for Miss Chloe. And, she's a stalwart in the neighborhood, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful thing to be able to be present to support her. Of course, she reminded me of my mother, who wasn't walking on the beach in her last days, but who always appreciated the arm. Unselfish deeds. You have to have your eyes open in order to notice what is needed. What does the moment call for, and how can you show up for it? What does the moment call for, and how can you show up for it? How can you share your joy with others so that it's palpable, so that through the screen, we feel it. When you're walking down the street, you feel it. You're walking across the stand, you're there for somebody. We have the capacity to be happy every single day. And it requires conscious effort. So let's take a few minutes right now to have a formal meditation together where we can breathe into our experience and really access that happiness. So I'm going to ask you to keep your posture. You can resume your posture. And I took some pictures at sunset yesterday, and I'll ask Fallon if she can share some of those pictures while we're meditating. So you can look at the pictures if you like. You can have your eyes closed, but this is just me taking in my happy place. It was so beautiful. I wanted to share it with you. Breathe, everybody. Breathe in light. And exhale light. Just really fully feel the beauty of being together, of remembering how powerful it is to connect to other people who want the best for you. Feel it in your body that you are not alone, that there are people who care about you all over the world. There are like-minded people who want to see the best in you as they see the best in themselves. Notice what it feels like in your body when you welcome in that light and love and joy. Wherever it's uncomfortable in your body, just relax. Just relax. Allow yourself to be present. Allow yourself to notice the good feelings that fill your being. and allow yourself to let go of any negativity. As you think about this summer, the things that were wonderful and the things that may not have been, what are the lessons you can learn so that you can be happy? Who do you gravitate toward and it ends up being positive? Who do you attract who's maybe not so much? Let those people and those experiences go that do not serve you. Just let go. You don't have to hold on to anything that isn't serving you. Stay in the here and now. Be focused on goodness, on joy, on peace, and on natural, beautiful connections. You know, the kids talk about FOMO, fear of missing out. So what if you weren't invited to be in a particular place or to hang out with particular people? Who were you with? Did you savor that moment? Will you today? You don't have to be everywhere. You have to be where it's right for you. Savor the moment. Look around. Notice others. What can you do to help them be better? What can you do to palpably share your love with others so that they benefit? And then notice how that feels for you. Fill your day with light. Fill your being with light. Set an intention and follow it. Embody your intention with good thoughts, cheerful words, and selfless actions, where you do things for others. And notice how much better you feel when you do that. Feel the warmth of the sun as it's setting. Have it fill your heart, your spirit, so that you can go out and do whatever you're called to do today and each day. Very gently, when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I hope that you experience the softness and strength that can come from just a tiny little meditation. And bigger, longer ones can be even more fulfilling, but you can change your state. You can right your ship. You can be better. You can realign yourself with just a few minutes of deep breathing and focus. And asking yourself to connect to the divinity that lives within you and within each one of us. See God in each other. That quote certainly is not mine. It's from Baba Muktananda, who was a great spiritual leader. See God in each other. What happens when you do that? When you see God in children, they just light up. When you see God in someone who has hurt you, wow, they see maybe there's a chance for redemption. Not necessarily with you, but with their life. One of the hardest things to do is to forgive. If you can forgive people and see God in them and choose to give them space, at least spiritually, for you in them that's neutral and even uplifting. Even people who've hurt you. I want you to hear this, especially people who've hurt you. See God in them. Choose to see a glimmer of happiness. It does not mean you have to be in a relationship with them, but if you can release them with goodness, it makes your life better and theirs. Be happy. Be happy. Choose joy now. Right now, when this broadcast ends, choose joy. Look through the lens of joy and happiness and goodness. Whatever is happening, choose to find happiness in it. You are worth it. We need to do this in order to be strong enough to face all of the things that happen in life, to be spiritual warriors, to be there for ourselves, our families, and each other. We have to be strong, and we have to find our way to happiness. It is a source of strength. And as Chip said, it attracts people to you. And then that army of goodness can go out and help other people. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you feel better as a result of being together. And please carry this energy forward and share it with others. Also, by the way, this broadcast doesn't go away, so you can share it with others and maybe it'll help to touch another person's heart. Thank you so much for joining today. I just wish all the very best for you. And until next time, have a great day and make it count. Namaste.